Lofi Poli Sci coming at you. Michael Pickering here talking our famous question, what's going on in the world today? And today we're continuing our look at development around the world by focusing on different countries each time we go. So far we've done Panama, Somalia, Tuvalu, Mongolia, El Salvador. And now we're off to Australia, my friends, and as usual, we'll be using the World Bank, the United Nations, Transparency International, Reporters Without Borders, and Freedom House as our sources for development indicators spanning the past 20 years. Though still, no 2021 data on GDP or GDP per capita from the World Bank. It's almost as if they took a year off or something, who knows? Let's go. First, let's do the World Bank GDP. And Australia in the year 2000 had a GDP of $415.5 billion US dollars. In 2020, $1.3 trillion, tripling the country's income over the past 20 years. And globally, Australia ranks number 13 by GDP, below Brazil and above Spain. And World Bank GDP per capita data. In 2000, Australia had a GDP per capita of $21,697 per person per year. In 2020, it raised all the way up to $51,680 per person a year. It's increased about 2.5 times over the past 20 years. Their global ranking is number 16, below Sweden and above Qatar. Now, World Bank Gini Index data, looking at income inequality in a country. Australia in 2001 had a 33.5, a pretty damn good score as far as low inequality goes. In 2018, a 34.3. So it's gone up a bit, but looking at the data over the time period, it's had some higher peaks and then it's come back down. Globally, Australia ranks about number 49 if we only count countries with data as recent as 2016 to now. And above it is Spain, and below it is Serbia. And to the United Nations Human Development Index now we go, looking at life expectancy, average educational attainment, and GNI per capita with PPP. And what do we say for HDI? In 2000, Australia had a 0.903, a really good and high HDI. In 2019, they had an HDI of 0.944, so things getting even better. 2019, their life expectancy in the country was 83.4 years old, and 2019 average years of schooling was 12.7 years. And globally, Australia ranks HDI. They are tied for number 8 with the Netherlands. Above them is Sweden, and below them is Denmark. Now, what about levels of perceived corruption in the country as measured by Transparency International's Corruption Perception Index? In 2020, Australia ranked and is tied for number 18 with Uruguay, Belgium, and Japan as some of the least corrupt countries in the world out of about 180 countries and territories. Above them is Iceland, Estonia, Canada, and Austria, and below them is France. Now to Reporters Without Borders and looking at 180 countries and territories as ranked by Media Freedoms in Countries. In 2021, Australia was ranked number 39 of 180. Above them is Taiwan, and below them is Moldova. And to our last development indicator, Freedom House, looking at those civil liberties and civil rights enjoyed by the people of a country. Australia in 2021 scored a 95 out of 100 on the freedom scale, and ties for number 16 out of about 200 countries and territories in the world, ties with Portugal. Above them is Belgium, Japan, and Switzerland, and below them is Chile, Iceland, Estonia, Taiwan, and Germany. But now, as always, let's put all these data together and see what does this really mean for development in Australia lately. And straight up, as per every single one of these development indicators, Australia is one of the most developed countries in the world, and the quality of life there is only rising. I mean, for real, if you're looking for a great time for fun, stable, developed, democratic country with an extraordinary wildlife, Australia is for you, my friend. I mean, for real, they have all of these things that we've talked about going for them. Plus, as an extra bonus, you get koalas, kangaroos, and my favorite animal on the planet almost, maybe even beats the penguin. You get 5 seconds to guess. What animal might I prefer over the penguin that lives in Australia? And five, four, and it's not koalas and kangaroos, I already said that. 3, 2, 1. The majestic, the beautiful, the amazing duck-bill platypus. Oh, that alone is enough for me, my friends. But there is no such thing as a perfect country. We all know this. And Australia has been facing its fair share of hard times. Be it rather trade disputes with China or fighting for influence with other specific countries with China. Over the past few years, the economy has really been shaken and it's seen quite a few ups and downs. However, all countries go through these rough patches here and there. Australia, though, well, that's definitely still a country on my list of places to go. I'll see you soon, Australia. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Check out lofipolisci.com, the music, the episodes, the blogs, the letters, the art. Add us on all the socials, people. Hit us up. And it's not a cliche or a catchphrase. It's a lifestyle. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Talk to you soon, Lo-Fi listeners. Pickering, signing off. A little behind the scenes for all you listeners that stuck around. I'm still looking for more and more countries to do, so if you have a country that you want me to do a deep dive in, go on, send it on in.